Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we are playing a different kind of variation of Jeskai control. I've teetered away from what I was doing for a while, and we are definitely diversifying the stack and bringing in a lot of one-ofs and spicy cards for matchups that we absolutely need them in, and we'll get into them kind of in the video or in the outro where I kind of break down some of the very cool cards later if you're interested. But today we have the grindiest games that I've had in a very long time. A lot of bleak games that look like our light has been snuffed out, but we end up crawling back in and making them a real contest. So cards that are interesting in this build that you might not be seeing a lot of, and I kind of highlight in the outro, but I'll bring it up here, is Final Showdown. I don't necessarily do it then, but this card is very interesting and something you should be looking out for if you are playing control or playing against it. This is instant speed, and it does have a board wipe effect on it. So if you are playing Convoke or you're wanting to play this against Convoke, it is a good option. It's very expensive for that matchup, but 6 mana, instant speed board wiping your opponent, very, very good and very, very relevant. Other than that, we are stacking up on the 3 steps ahead, along with the 4 No More Lies is our counterspell suite. We have no land destruction in here. The mana is a little too strenuous for that. So we don't want to be playing more than 4 hard counter spells, because 3 steps ahead obviously has a lot more value outside of that. But instead of 4 marches, we're on 2 here. The 3 get lost, 4 lightning helix as kind of connecting into our own removal suite, where we kind of borrow a slot from get lost and 2 from march and 1 from the deduce area, along with flashing a high noon for those decks that really want to kind of put a lot of spells on the stack. If you just play this card against, it kind of works like recipes against graveyard decks. If you play this card against your prowess opponents, they pretty much fold on the spot. They just can't keep up with you in terms of your card value. They're going to pump their creature by 1. You'll remove it because it can't cast another spell, and then you'll call it a good day and have fun with that. So outside of that, we have 1 lockdown, 2 sunfalls, and a farewell, along with a eternal wanderer. And filling out the deck in the best slots are 3 emperors, a splash of Jace the Perfected Mind to maybe be a bullet in the mill, but realistically this card is in here to plus put -3 on creatures and give us time in our matchups and draw us maybe 1 to 2 cards, and Memory Deluge filling out the deck as our best draw engine. So outside of that, let's go ahead and hop into the games, see how they go, and I hope you all enjoy the video. Like weird, because if they're a slower start, we feel good. Temporary lockdown's also good, so we'll try, I guess. A deck like ours, this high noon's pretty good, especially with this opener. Looks like we might have time. If we draw an untapped source here. Not quite. Let's take a gander here. Yeah, that's why we kind of wanted the untapped source. I'm in the World Finals now, team. Kind of. Not like actually. World Finals wasn't necessarily like this, but... Spelunking? Making you pay for that one, Chief. Lands, I refuse to have them enter untapped. We will now play High Noon, and we will both be on 1 spell a turn. You can obviously leyline binding it if you would like. You probably don't care, but who knows? Look at the top 7 cards of your library. Put 2 lands from among them on. What a card! Get that out of here. We find another land. Not bad. Turn. We do have a Jace for this match. A very Stomper will be kind of annoying. Sure. We'll have to take our 4. We can't, like, allow just a big spell to resolve here. Especially a ramp style effect. Just a glimpse. I think I have to let that go. Okay, your turn's over. Remove this. My turn. I will pass here. We're hoping to counter a spell and then draw 2 and discard a card. Kind of the goal here. Yeah. Counter spell, draw 2, discard 1. See what spells we get. Well, I'm honestly going to discard a land here. Our spells are prime real estate right now. Can I actually attack with this? Not yet. I'm 1 mana short. But I prefer this. Second Herd Migration is fine. Quite a bit. Fire this off. Then for a ton here. Play this. Tap a, put in a lockdown. Absorb the maps and take those out. Surprised they didn't use a map on a creature at least. Kind of a shock. Guess they just don't care. Cycle, sure. Looking like their hand's probably dead. Couple Herd Migrations can eventually do that. Angel, Archangels in the works. We'll slam this. Taking a damage, it's fine. Start making 2/2s. Alright, Mr. Leyline Binding, you can relax.
We must protect the people.
Leyline Binding can't target a land. Do we fit that description yet? 1, 2, 3, we do. Here. A Seiju, wow. Do this. Take this action. Maybe we just surveil here. Yeah, let's just surveil here. See what we're looking at. Sundown Pass can go. I just don't want it to die to... Well, I guess it'll die to a double-kicked Archangel anyway. But both this will survive and this will survive if they just kick on both. Who knows? Yeah, there's the Archangel, double-kicked. What are we removing? They're going to double target the same thing. It'd go for my Emperor. Sure. Not stopping that.
Try not to miss me.
Eternal Wanderer seems good. No More Lies seems bad. Farewell, not quite good here, so we'll grab the Memory Deluge. Well. Slam Wanderer. Snap Resolve. Get you out of my way. Move, attack. And now we can blow up a Leyline Binding still with our Get Lost that we ripped. Populate? No way! Enters. Nothing happens. We get lost this now because I'm going to start making 2/2s. We have to try to close this door because you have to do it fast against this deck whenever you start doing it. Because if you don't, then eventually they slam an Atraxa uncounterably. It all comes downhill very quickly. There's just not a whole lot you can do about it. There we go. Again, it's uncounterable with this. Archangel. Uncounterable. This is 2 going after. There. 6 mana? Just short. Yeah, it's fun.
I don't fear monsters.
Sure. Guess we just keep grabbing creature land, right? Because eventually we're just going to keep pumping them through combat. For now, let's flicker you out of the way.
I'll
Bring you up. It doesn't work. We attack. We hit. We crack. We look. We gander. We hit a land. We cry a little. I don't mind lands. I just don't need them now. Heard this is not uncounterable. We're working on it. Oh, lightning helix. I miss you so much. This is in our way. Also, at this point, this is plus again on it. Bring this up. Bring this up. We're moving in. With lightning helix, we really only just got to get so close. Here. Eventually, you have to think that we'll hit a non-land card to make those bigger, but until then, Topiary Stomper is fine. We could actually end up using this and just wipe out both these creatures, right? What do you got on top? Of course, it's Traxa. Just of course it is. Sure. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, it's fine. Bring this up. We're just short on that. Do this. Do we hit? Hey, we hit! It's like we always knew we would. Now we get to make a 2/2. And we call it a day. Now we can get Lost the Atraxa or something else. Sure. Populate, Leyline Binding, Arcbound Ravager, or Arcbound Ravager. That's Arcbound Ravager, by the way. You just didn't know it yet. I guess we could also downtick Emperor here. Yeah, we should have everything covered. We should be able to close out this game. Normally a hard matchup, but we've drawn so many cards that it's felt to some degree easy. Wow, I'm not playing the Archangel here. A little surprising. Beanstalk on top. Binding here. Sure. I mean, that's perfectly fine. We want this out of here. This is the only thing we really care about right now. Gone. Gone. Yep. Bring up the lands. Hit for lethal. Plus we have the creature. Just assuming they have another Leyline Binding. We'll just bring up 2 of these lands. Go all out. And then Lightning Helix our opponent. I was playing Jeskai, not blue-white. What happened? We're really going to ride this land into the promised land, I suppose. Sure. I hate that on turn 1, whenever I see a Boros land, I have to decide whether to play the untap land or not. Update, the answer is to not. Red, white, they could give it protection. Or well, you feel like you're going to be a bit slow here, big dog, so I'm going to have to let you go. Could have held up like the No More Lies, maybe. Just countered something and then marched it next turn. But if they hold up protection spell like now, I'm in trouble. play this, and we'll hope that No More Lies keeps us from getting Twinfernoed or whatever. We'll just have to take a chunk and then exile it when it's tapped, hopefully. Demonic Ruckus, that's Menace. That's fine. Kind of fine. Actually, let's go ahead and stop it. This helps prevent 4 damage here. Or quite more damage. Yeah. You're holding up 1 suspicious mana. There's pause there. Yep. I'm not. Nope. Not me. Just do. This is a 2 on gains life, like 2 and 1 dies. 1/1. Sure. I'd love a removal spell. Maybe they'll accidentally tap out their white mana. Do they have double strike? Will I be safe enough to make a 2/2 here? What's my life total at 17?
But I'm going to end it.
Go for it, I guess. If they have a Lauren's Escape and a Monstrous Rage, like, I'm dead regardless. Because they'll Monstrous Rage it and then give it the protection that it needs. So they don't have it. Sweet. They're all the way at 30. That's pretty good. Alright, I need to stop drawing lands. I do know that as a fact.
See you later. Keep watch for intruders.
By another tap land. By another Emperor. Exile this.
You'll be safer. You're done.
Alright. We have to hold. Yeah, that makes sense. We're gonna try. Stop drawing lands, please. I'm begging. Up here? There's still toughness.
How we greet our
Don't worry, opponent. It's still a 10-turn clock. It's kind of crazy that my 3/3 is a 10-turn clock. Not so outlandish, huh? A 1-0 here and a draw. I'll allow this because it doesn't quite get that double strike yet. The second one I will not allow. Five? I can ensure I kill this thing? Pretty sure. I have to double count here. I have 6 toughness, so they survive. And then it trades it off. And then it'll come back in. It'll hit me for 4 and die. We have to kind of deduce now because we want to see if we don't have an answer. I think with that, I'm removing this now. Just because it's like, it's so hard for us to do it with this card roaming around. They're virtuoso, sure. Let's slowly just play like double strikers all over. Oh, they hit a land, so that's pretty good. Cycling again is actually a good sign for us. To an extent. Wow. Well, I like have to lock this down, right? Stack. I mean, let's just lock it down. Not gonna lie, I didn't realize I wasn't gonna be able to play my other Emperor when I made that choice, but here we are.
Keep watch for it.
Choice made. Defend. Defend, defend, defend. Eventually, we're gonna have a turn. They stop playing spells. Or we're just pretty confident that they don't have a Lawrence escape. I think we just kind of hold this land in hand. Or does that change my math? It does not. Would you like to trade? Opponent, the turns become like way harder. I'm actually going to play the land, by the way. If I draw another land, memory deluge and things like that become way more viable. I would love to draw a memory deluge. That's for sure. No attack here is fantastic for us. So I am going to take this chance to start building up a wall. Start making tutus. Get them in the way while I can.
I've learned much during my travels.
Here's another tutu.
Let me show you.
You have something. Probably an escape if I had to guess.
People.
Helix? Sure.
Guards.
Start turning up. Get in there. The Helix. And turn. It did tap out a turn ago, though. Which makes me feel like it's not necessarily a Lawrence escape. I'm willing to barrel here for it. If I get it out of their hand, then great. Kind of how I'm feeling about this situation. That's gone. Take my turn. Odawara can't. It is colorless. Put a counter here. Move to combat.
Got the edge in this
Attack.
fight.
Get in there. I want to represent the most as possible. I also want this to block if needed. I understand how all that ends up working. I have quite the amount of blockers right now. Our life total is increasing exponentially. And we get there. Against that deck, realistically, you have to treat any toughness on your creatures as extra life. And that's how we did it. So, we get there. Very sweet. Frogman. Sure. No way, dude. Probably fine. Against a deck like this, I feel like it's fine. It's gonna be artifact kind of pump stuff. What do you got for me? Nothing? Sweet. Here's my land. I got nothing, big dog. You got something for me? I guess, big dog. Like, yeah, my bad. I didn't have a counter spell ready to counter a card under cat. Oh, yeah. We're probably dead here, chat. Probably dead. Don't have a red for the Helix, which would be very nice in a spot like this, especially for a creature that has vigilance. But, well, that's not a cat. And these don't pay enough to pay for it, so. Well, maybe we have a chance, you know? I'm only down to a lot. And my last land here. Emperor, you're going to have to come up clutch. Not necessarily able to deal with the Jewel Thief. But you'll have to do something. Yeah, I don't think I want to take any more damage here. Knowing they have 6 mana available, because it's likely I wouldn't be able to counter the thing anyway.
Ready to lose.
You have royal treatment too. He's so sick of you. Now we kind of take away that spell's this card's turn in a sense. We want them to burn our Emperor down here. That's exactly what we want, I think. Scry to the top. That's not good.
Try not to miss me.
I'm still messed up on the cat name by the cavern, by the way. That's got me like really on the fence. Let's just pass. And always Helix on their turn. And then counter kind of the protection spell. That's what they end up going for. Yeah. Helix is in. That is gone. Stabilizing. That, my dear opponent, is also not a cat. Cat. I can't get over it, man. I've never had a cavern come in and name Cat, I don't think. Maybe in taxes back in the day. I'm gonna let that go. 1/1 exiling something is probably never gonna be super relevant against me. Then I can Eternal Wanderer. I can flicker this if I'd like. I'll most likely make a 2/2. And I can torch some stuff. I have to assume their hand is like some amount of creature removal / burn. Maybe a Besage. My memory deluge to resolve. I'll come back whenever it does. If it does. Okay. They got hit with a timer and conceded. I thought we were in like real danger because one of the hard parts about control is like facing off against this weird variation of a deck, like something that you're not prepared for. Control has to typically be very focused on the meta and be prepared for it. So when these off-brand kind of decks come around, you can actually lose to them a lot easier by playing control, which is weird. But we come away with the win. Sure. These cards can definitely be good, especially if we find, like, I would love to find a red source immediately. Obviously, we have no red in hand. But whenever you're playing control, representing a lot of different things is always nice. Sure. Let's represent Demoralize. We just talked about representing. Maybe we have to. Alright. We ain't got nothing. I'll most likely play the Jace here to target the bat. I'll most likely probably take my 3 steps ahead if I had to guess. Making their bat a -2/1 seems good. Sunfall's also a logical take if they think I'm gonna hit runner, which is possible. We play a lot of lands, but it's definitely not an easy choice here. I don't think this choice is easy. They take probably what I would have taken and just kind of wash the fact that my opponent's going to play the Jace. But seeing a Jace this early also kind of puts some strain because now they have to worry, am I Jace mill deck or do I just have one copy? Am I a control deck that plays one copy of Jace? Also hate that Long Goodbye can't get this, by the way. Infuriates me. We basically will probably do, if they don't play a creature, we'll obviously just keep plussing on the bat. Which I might just keep plussing on the bat, but so weird because it's so fine.
You can be made to obey.
Let's see what happens. We do miss the land, but March made my kind of play a little awkward, I think. Attack face to make the draw card here. Basically want this to down tick and survive a hit from Preacher is my goal. But with Sunfall in hand, it definitely gets a lot more dangerous for our opponent. Could mill them. Doesn't really do anything, but I could. It's an option, okay. Now they map. Well, they map the Preacher. Because if they hit Preacher and they make it work, if I down tick, it's enough for lethal, but they do not. Lightning Helix. Brutal. More than one reason to mill that over.
No secret escapes my grasp.
Well, 3 steps ahead, you're going to be used to draw cards. Or counter a spell. In turn. This game is getting complicated just on the fact that we can't seem to hit lands. Sure. Just need 2 lands and run into Sunfall. What we really want. Will they crack the map and get value? Who knows? Mosswood. Cycle, sure. More cards, huh? More cards must be more good. Must mean we're working. I don't really care. I already know pretty much what I'm discarding in a spot like this. Or do I? Yeah, probably. Well, guess I'm getting hit for a ton, haha. Basically defend ourselves with no more lies. If we can. If not, if we don't have to, then obviously we'll cycle a memory deluge. 7, 8, 9. Oh man. How will we catch back up, you may wonder. Honestly, I really hope our no more lies gets value here. Deep Cavern Bat makes it awkward because they'll take our Sunfall, which sucks, which means I'll have to hit something well off Memory Deluge. Okay, now the bat doesn't work. Doing that on top makes sense. I'll counter another one. No. Sure. Sundown pass. 3 steps ahead. Yes. I have 2 lands to hit for the following couple of turns. You discard the hand size. Don't worry, opponent. I'm pretty close to the same thing. Now, the main thing we need is for them to not recognize that they have a Restless Cottage. That's the most important thing of it all. What do you do against control when you need to? You bring up Restless Cottage and you let it get all your value. But if our opponent doesn't do that, then we're chilling. Okay. They're cycling against me. Yeah, most times I think I'm just like slamming the Mosswood in general. I don't think I'm necessarily holding it for any one thing. Another land. Blissa, sure. Double Helix. No. No other red. Fire this off now, just because it feels roughly right to do so. Then pass. To climb back into this game, it's definitely going to take a while. So strap in, be ready. This is going to be a grindy game. All right, we're getting actually what we want here, which is kind of crazy that it's turning out this way. They'll exile my Memory Deluge, as they should. Fire this off here. Get the manland out of here. We know one's already in the graveyard, so they'll have to find another. I'll take 3. I'll have a Lightning Helix to answer that. But I'm hoping they kind of played the other one here and be tapped out so I can kind of farewell them away. But farewell is definitely going to have to catch me back up. They take another draw. Do you have another land drop? Keeping themselves in range. I appreciate that. Well, opponent, now we pass. You have more cards. But I'm starting to straighten up a little. And it's getting better. Who knows? Definitely not safe, for sure. I think it cuts us down, and then it's kind of annoying. Let's just get this out of here. Worst part is I want my High Noon back. Fantastic. Fine with me. I mean, I had this. That's why I was like, I'm not gonna play towards the cut down. Sure. Wanting to memory deluge here, I think. Alright. Exactly what we wanted. The two good draw value engines are getting taken from my opponent. March is good to answer the land. And I think I just have to survive without lands right now. I need to kind of just draw them naturally like that. And now, do I just farewell them? Such a hard decision. Because there's so many good cards in their deck. I think I have to. Yeah, I think this is what I want. Those cards are just so hard for us to answer over and over again. We just can't. Yeah, I mean, they could find another one and it'll be a problem, but we'll deal with that when we get there. Now this time, we won't let them attack with it because we want to keep our memory deluge. We need our memory deluge. Is the main key going to get us back into this game? Or take this game over? You're going to go for the throw your own creature? Sure, they make a black mana. Maybe sack of food. Just because. Go to second main. Sure. Liliana.
A fight?
Sure.
And you think you can win?
Realistically, no more lives. It's probably not worth
We
it.
all have things we'd rather forget.
I can answer Liliana. Liliana. I didn't say that, chat. Shut up. You ready to sage you? Sure. Bronco? Alright. Double attack here. At some point we can consider just going face, but I don't think we can right now.
I'm not interested in
Fast,
buying.
keep our no more lives just in case they do something silly. I don't know what it would be, but I have quite a lot of mana. Sentinel, sure, can't really stop that. This is the spot in which I can counter something. I don't think I can allow another Liliana to resolve here. Not enough mana? Sure. They're a land short. That's gone. Let's put it on top. No! They leave it. Smart. So smart. They had the land to play the no more lives fee, but they choose not to. At some point I gotta try to win. I can get close. Yeah, I'm definitely attacking. I'm gonna try to turn the page here. I'll bring this up. I'm gonna attack with it. We'll try to work it out. You have the removal for it. Fantastic. That helps us out actually quite a lot. Pop this. Because now we can still attack with this. And then we're slowly getting there. Slowly getting there. Alright, so don't Dread Whisper. Do I just counter this? I think the answer is yes. I just don't want to deal with it. Get it out of the way. We won't be able to bring it back over and over again. What's your last card in hand? What is it? Aklazos. Of course you are. Oh boy. Prevail. Take an outlook and then activate the map. You have to reveal the card to me, but you got on top. Liliana. Also a fantastic card. Turns out those ones are pretty good. It's all going downhill, chat. It's all going downhill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ugh, bro. Kind of figured as much. Yep. We're gonna try so hard, chat. We're gonna try so hard. Come so far. This hurts so much.
No more distractions. Let's make this quick. I'm tired of your.
Whenever it attacks, you punish this card, draw a card. Whenever. Sure. Sure. Make your draw. It's a shielded, we die regardless. I'll take the top deck, rip a shielded. Memory deluge. Here, even if they have a removal spell, it's just not good enough. Can I beat Liliana? I can. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Merrick's? I think it's Merrick's. For try to exile it. Hopefully it's not. I mean, if there's removal, I think our creature would be gone, but
You are not much of a roadblock.
our tap land here. Bring this up. Go for the Liliana removal. Oh boy, this game's getting so hard.
Fine. I know when I'm not wanted.
Yeah, I think we have a chance. Oh my. I don't know how we went. I really don't. I'm stressed out. I'm done, dude. Get me out of here. I'm so stressed. I'm so stressed. Okay. We're going to talk about the deck. This hurts my heart, man. We took so long to win our games. And not even necessarily like I think they were being stalled out or anything. It just took a while on some of them. But what do we know? A card that is kind of slept on. And I kind of want to talk about it a little bit and give it some love. But the problem is, it's really weird. And that is Final Showdown. Final Showdown, not necessarily a card we saw a ton of. We did just use it as a 6-mana board wipe. But the thing about this card is that it's an instant speed board wipe. That is so huge in most cases on the fact that we can pass to our opponent, especially a deck that's playing a lot of hasty creatures. If we can kind of stall that game out especially like Boros Convoke, right? Like Convoke's going to commit everything on one turn. They do that. Obviously, like we have to survive to then, but we have good spells to do such like a Lightning Helix, No More Lies, March, Get Lost, things like that. But if we're able to have this in hand when like those aggro decks commit all out, and then we get to instantly board wipe them, no better feeling. No better feeling. You just turn the entire table. It is table flipping worthy if you were at a home game, for example. But other than that, we have the card that is actually making waves in multiple formats. It recently is doing well in Modern, and it is doing well in other places as well. And you might be like, well, how is Cancel good in Modern? And it's really coming down to the other effects on this card. Like the draw 2 cards and then discard a card is very nice. This is a form of Quicken that we have, not Quicken, Quick Study that we have where, yes, sure, we have the downside of discarding a card, but having the option to put a counter spell in your deck or another draw effect has been kind of like a tug of war with Control for a while, that we really want a card that fits both those categories, and this does it very well with also giving us a third option. Now, it seems a little weird. Why would we create a token that's a copy of an artifact or a creature? Well, sometimes in this deck, not necessarily, but we can copy a 2/2. This double strike, we can copy one of these. We can copy a big incubate. Actually, that might just die. I'm not sure. But I think you can also copy our lands, so things like that. Obviously, you'd have to repay the cost, but it helps ramp a little. But, I mean, that's quite a lot. You have to have a lot of mana, so ramping is not necessarily what it's used for. But in Modern, per se, this card is getting a lot of value in terms of it's copying Solitudes. It's copying One Rings. Like, this card has a lot of value, and I recommend if you do play Paper and you're playing a lot of formats that you should probably pick these up. I feel like they might eventually scamper up the price range, but who knows? Not financial advice, but, you know. But outside of that, I mean, we can talk about the list real quick. We did well. We ran hot, and it worked out fairly well in our favor in most cases, even though they were stressful. But we are on the 3 Get Lost plan for Lightning Helix, along with 2 Marches to be our versatile card, with 3 steps ahead to help counter on top of No More Lies. I'm so happy this deck is not trying to play Make Disappears or Quenches in any fashion. I prefer the No More Lies in that spot, or a hard counter spell with extra value if needed, because Cavern of Souls is so annoying. And because we are 3 colors, we do not play any land destruction spells, so Caverns are somewhat permanent if our opponent plays it against us. But outside of that, we have a board state removal suite, you might say, in terms of all of these. We have the Final Showdown that we talked about in the very beginning, but temporary lockdown if needed, 2 Sunfalls, and a Farewell. Just a lot of bullets for a lot of different matchups, and the best ways to find them in Memory Deluge. This deck, I promise you, strictly works off of Memory Deluge. Anytime, Control players know this, anytime you don't have a Memory Deluge, when you get down to that 3 to 3 cards per opponent and player, so we have 3, our opponent has 3, if you get the Memory Deluge, you feel like your chances of winning have gone up significantly, because you get to select cards, you get to make your land drops, and ensure that you do by looking at the top 4, kind of top 5, because obviously you draw a card after, so you get to look and get 3 cards out of the 5 in theory. But then playing it later is so nice on the fact that it also returns itself and is still card value overall. So 1 card in theory replaces itself, adds a card, and then does it again and gives you 2 additional cards, all at instant speed. Memory Deluge, bomb card, love it. Jason here is a bullet. Wandering Emperor, as good as this is, I would be sad to see her go, but the flash being so relevant, we obviously know that. And then 1 copy of the Eternal Wanderer, which is also very nice, just as a top end bomb for us to play. Also is a board wipe as well if you read its bottom mode, or just a board clear with tokens and stuff, getting them out of the way and not having them come back. So outside of that, it's already a long video. I'm going to call it there, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Regardless, I know Control can be a little bit taxing on the brain, but I'll see y'all later in the next one. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.